Welcome to the Dork Forest. Jackie and her pals will never bore us. Shameless confessions
about our obsessions
will make us laugh and smile. So let's explore the Dork Forest and dork out for a while.
Hello and welcome to the Dork Forest. It's Jackie Cation, and I'm here, and it's Wednesday, October 6th again with the October 6th, but sitting in dorkforest.com, JackieCation.com, iTunes, all of it. I'm all over the internet, as you well know, and buy my new album. There you go. Donate to the show. Do whatever you want to do. I can give a damn. Anyway, but you're listening, and it's good, and in my room, in my house, here in Van Nuys, I have Paul F. Tompkins, stand-up comic, actor. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Jacqueline.
And accessorizing dork. I do love that you're a Dapper Dan. I enjoy that. It's always been so.
My mother used to say, "Handsome Harry."
Handsome Harry.
I'd be all
like
dressed up, come downstairs, "Handsome Harry."
Perfect. And also in my house, which, you know what, an entity unto herself, but let's just say it, Janie Haddad Tompkins, married to Paul F. Tompkins.
That's right.
You scored, lady. You scored.
I did.
And looking at you is a lucky man. Let's
Oh
just
yes,
go there.
I'm the one who won in this
And
scenario.
let's just say congratulations to Paul. Good luck to Janie.
That's right. I am a terrible husband.
It's well, you do what you can. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
You are an actor. You have a video blog thing,
I do.
vlog thing
A
called
vlog.
My So-Called Hollywood Life.
That's right.
And you enjoy sort of things that are secretive.
Yes, I kind of dork out over things that are secretive. Yes, that's right.
Define that for me. Let's go right into it and define it. What does it mean?
Well, I know what brought me here initially was Paul does a bit
Right.
in particular
Sure.
about the Magic Castle.
Right.
And I really enjoy the Magic Castle. And he, as he tells it for dramatic purposes on stage.
Yes. That you love magic, but it isn't the magic that
It's not
brought you
the
to the
magic.
Magic Castle.
No, and he says it's the exclusivity. But what I have discovered about myself is
See,
that
we're always learning.
it's a secret thing. It's a secret place. You have to know.
Oh, right.
someone.
You have to have a thing.
Oh yeah, the
To
way
get
it
in.
works is the Magic Castle is a private club in Los Angeles for magicians, and the only way you can go in there is if you are a magician or if you know a magician.
You have to know a magician, or you have to stay at their hotel.
That's
yes,
right.
yes.
Right.
That's
if
a
you
loophole I have used in my own,
Right.
doings.
So,
Yeah.
so what's another thing besides that? But then we're going to go back to magic because we got to talk about
Well,
it.
you gotta talk about
Sure,
it.
we have to talk about magic.
We have. Well, I just came from Las Vegas, and
there
can
you
I
go.
8 days in Las Vegas. Can I tell you how long that is?
Wow.
7 days too long.
Yeah, how
There you
about
go.
it?
Really?
It was-
sounds
I
like
don't
it
get
could
it.
be fun.
If you
There's a lot of
gamble,
entertainment
And you
there.
want to do coke, and you want to sleep with people, and you have thousands of dollars in disposable income, and you want to crawl into a bottle.
Then
All
it's
of
a
those
great
things.
place.
yeah,
Because each of those things is only going to take you a day.
yeah.
Right? Like if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
want to gamble, that's a day. If
Yeah.
you
Well,
want to
that-
drink yourself into a stupor, there's
a
another
day of crazy decadence. Oh, you know what? I'll give you 2.
2, 3
You know?
max.
Yeah,
If you have a problem.
a long weekend, a holiday weekend.
There you go.
But yeah, like a week in Vegas
With
is
people
just-
you love.
let me
But
tell
with
you.
8 people alone.
On that
Wow.
topic, my wife here
Yes.
is always trying to get me to do to get a gig in Vegas.
Right,
Because she wants to go there and have fun. And I say, you
Sure.
don't understand. I'm the one that would have to be
12
on that
shows.
stage.
12 shows.
Yeah, where
Yeah.
no one cares.
No one cares.
They're taking
6
a break
days.
from gambling.
One show. You could do one show. Just one.
Oh my God, you could do a
One
Paula
show?
Tompkins 300
You could
in
do a
Vegas.
300 group in
They
Vegas.
tried and it did not happen.
It didn't take.
No,
it didn't
did not take.
People, if you can get 299 of your friends to say that they will buy a ticket, Paula Tompkins will come to your town. It could be the tiniest town in the world.
Unless
That's
you
right,
were
the
Baton
Tompkins,
Rouge,
yeah.
Louisiana, which I just canceled.
Oh, did you
because
cancel?
Nobody
'Cause-
bought tickets.
Oh, nobody. Oh, well, then the problem is Baton Rouge is you got 299 people, but they're in like a 100-mile radius, and most of them are hunting.
Oh,
They-
maybe that's
they're
why.
crawdadding. They're crawdadding. They
That's
don't have
right.
time to come in. They
That's
got to
right.
put food on the table.
Sure. So they like the idea of me doing a show in theory, but
Right.
not in practice.
Right. Everybody likes it in theory. Come on over to my house.
Of course. No, that sounds like a wonderful idea.
Oh, I can't do it that night, but
Or ever.
Or ever. Right. Even if you plan it specifically around me,
I thought you meant in the kingdom of heaven.
which you will be in.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
we all will be, hopefully.
We all will be. Let me say, okay, so I saw Penn and Teller this week,
Yeah.
and they did magic, and
Mhm.
I happen to like magic. I don't like magicians. I like magic.
Right.
Magicians are irritating because
Right.
they usually have worse social skills than comics because they spend 10 hours a day learning how to do magic.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're talking
that's
about
true.
like in person, like
Oh, yeah,
hanging
yeah.
out with
Yeah, yeah.
magicians.
Have you
yeah.
ever worked with a magician?
No, I never
Stand-up
have.
comedy-wise?
You know what? I've had magicians. I do a variety show at Largo here in West Hollywood.
Sure.
And I have had magicians on my show from time to time.
Right.
And
I bet you magicians, they're like, I don't know what to compare them to because more comics than magicians have more social skills. But
Mhm.
like Penn
They're
and
like
Teller,
computer nerds.
Yeah.
With flashy outfits.
right? And some of them have personality, but like of the 5 magicians I've met,
Mhm.
3 of them are hardcore. They have nothing to talk. I mean,
Yeah.
and one of them I accidentally told him I liked magic, and we
Uh-oh.
were having breakfast, and he's finding quarters behind my ear and bending
No.
spoons, and you're like, I just want coffee.
Hey, did he make the bill disappear at the end of the breakfast?
Oh.
Boom! Yes.
That's the ultimate magic trick. Yeah.
That's what my dad always says when they come and say, "Hey, we're not staying for the drawing. I don't need a ticket." Helpless to
staying
not
for
laugh
the
at that
drawing.
every 7 out of 50 times that he tells that joke. It's very
That's
hard.
a dad joke.
It's a complete dad joke.
Classic
Yeah.
dad.
It's a classic. But yeah, and then the magician gave me a signed headshot at the end of our weekend together in Albuquerque.
Oh.
Black and white.
Well,
Black
that's
and white.
nice.
Black and white. Threw that one up right in front of
Wow.
him because I didn't know what to. Because I'm a dick.
Did
And
you really? You put it in the
yes.
trash can.
Yes, I said I don't know what to do with this. I'm very sorry.
But let me try this.
Let me let me file this for you because I'm a jackass sometimes, and that's the way it goes. But
That's awesome.
but Penn and Teller look like they have good. And I've met one of those guys that is a member of the Magic Castle
Mm-hmm.
and who hangs out a little bit at the UCB and
Andrew
Largo.
Goldenhirsch.
Andrew,
That's
right?
it.
Yeah.
He's a cool.
He's
guy.
amazing.
He and very socially right
Yeah.
there.
No, he
Absolutely.
is. He's like
Super
kinda,
nice.
He's kind of
Absolutely.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And has other
awesome.
things to knows that everybody doesn't know as much about magic as he does, and I'm
He has
willing to
some
talk
killer
about
tricks,
magic.
Too.
Yeah.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
What's your
Yeah.
fave?
Oh, he has this trick. If you've seen
Illusion.
Oh, whatever.
I think you're not supposed to say trick. I think they
Oh, right?
they don't
Oh,
like
really?
that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. Well,
I'm
he
sure
has-
But you
that
can
some
call
of them are not
Negroes.
that hardcore.
It's okay. Just say Negro. It's okay.
How come they can say and we can't?
I'm from the South, and that makes me uncomfortable.
Where in the South are you from?
I grew up in Charleston, South Carolina.
South Carolina.
I was born in West Virginia. If you want to get all redneck.
Well, that's not. You're not going
If
to
you
white
want to.
trash me. I'm from outside of Milwaukee.
Oh, Milwaukee is part of why I like secret things.
Why? Oh, did you go to the safe house?
Yes.
What is the? I don't even know what this is.
I visited.
This marriage is a sham.
I visited a place in Milwaukee in the night, or in my formative years.
Sure.
I found myself in Milwaukee in
Some people do.
college. I fell in love with Milwaukee. I thought it was awesome.
There's no reason
I
not to,
loved
quite
it.
honestly. Yeah.
Never been.
And I had some friends that introduced me to a bar called the Safe House.
Yep.
And you have to say, to get in, this is where this maybe have been
This
the
might have
spark.
been where it started.
It might have been.
Because this might have been 10 years ago, right?
Oh, probably longer than
More?
that.
But whatever.
Yeah. And you have to say, I'm looking for a safe house to
That's-
get in.
yeah.
And then you come. If
If you don't know that,
you won't get in.
no, you get in, but they make you do a trick.
Not
Or an illusion. Not an illusion.
Not an illusion. But it used to be a speakeasy back in the Prohibition days.
See, and I like the whole speakeasy thing.
And it
Yeah.
is a warren because it's got tiny little.
It has all it's got a magic castle, like nooks and crannies of fantastic secret stuff around the corner that
like
you
an-
kind of know about.
Did you go into the barber's chair and get shots poured into your mouth because it's just not fast enough to drink them yourself?
No, but
I did.
I did try
Full
to
disclosure.
open the flap on Burt Reynolds from the 1970s that was covering his.
Oh, the Cosmo?
His Playgirl spread.
Oh,
It was in Cosmo.
Oh, was it Cosmo? Was
Yeah,
it
yeah.
Playgirl?
No.
Well, there's a naked Burt Reynolds plastered
in
on
Cosmo.
the wall
Oh,
in the ladies' room, and over top of his, area
yes.
is like, it looks like a door that you can open.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, if you attempt to open it, the entire bar lights up in
Yes!
sirens. The whole bar. And then you walk out of the bathroom. You're the only one walking out. And everyone's like, yeah, you did that. You know.
Yep, they have cameras everywhere.
It's
Oh,
hilarious.
God,
It's
love
one of the
them.
best places ever.
That's
I hope it didn't
fantastic.
suffer during the recession.
No, it is still around because one thing that will make it through all recessions is the bars in Milwaukee. So, yeah.
Now, did you witness people having to do tricks at the
Yes,
at the safe house?
yeah, because if you sit at the bar, if they have cameras, if they don't know the safe word, which is I'm looking for a safe
I'm looking
house,
for a safe house.
they make you do something, and then they show it on all the screens in the bar.
Can you give me an example of something?
They make you like dance like a chicken. I mean, it's pretty safe, pretty safe stuff.
It's just
Chickens are awful dancers.
silly
They are
stuff.
not good. They are not good. There's no Arthur Murray for
And
chickens.
they don't tell you what's in the drinks either.
No?
You're not allowed to know. It's secret ingredient. It's all secret.
So what? They just put drinks in front of you, or
No,
do you?
they have these names like the 007 or.
Oh,
know.
okay.
Ah,
So you-
Trixie.
Based on the sound of the name, you'll order your drink.
They're
and
all
then,
just like drunk.
Yeah,
I'm sure
it's
they're all
essentially-
like 3 different kinds of alcohol poured into a pint glass.
Right, it's
Like
a Jägermeister
punch.
Rumpelmans cocktail.
Yeah.
Where you have
That
7
almost made me sick.
That's because you have 7 to 9 minutes to talk before you pass out. Because it's all like 300 proof.
Oh,
Moonshine.
I feel like this is a therapy session. You're uncovering secrets of
Oh,
my
oh.
psyche because you said you were from Milwaukee. and
Right.
that triggered that.
That's
memory.
what podcasts are for. They're for
Yeah.
us to bond
It's
about
like
things
you're
we
on
don't...
a journey, people.
Yeah.
You're on a journey.
I'm
It's
glad we
what other
finally
things are there? What's because I can't think of other secret things like
Well, something happened recently which made me come to the conclusion it was secret things as opposed to exclusivity. Because I don't care about exclusivity, really.
it's kind of fun though.
It can be.
Right,
but
right.
It can be hurtful. To
They kind of
people.
go, well, yeah, but these.
Oh,
but
right,
this
right,
is a
yeah.
different kind of. This is a different kind of thing.
Like
Yeah.
being in the know. I
Yeah,
guess, is
yeah,
what
yeah.
you were talking
Well,
about.
it's you know what it is.
It's a
not,
kindler, gentler hipsterism.
yeah, because
Yeah.
it's not so much like, hey, I got to go to this place that everybody knows about, but very few people are allowed to go to.
Right.
It's like a place like the Magic Castle is itself not that well known. And so
Right. It's like
even
knowing a
more,
thing.
Yeah,
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 knowing
and
a
it's like
thing.
And
knowing a
anybody
thing.
could kind of go.
And that's
Yeah.
exciting, I think.
Where did
It's
you?
like-
What was the recent thing?
The recent thing that happened was we were at an awesome restaurant. It's called Osteria Mama. If you don't know this restaurant in Hollywood, I recommend it. It's on Melrose. Mama makes homemade pasta all day long, and
Oh my God.
yeah, and
It is an old Italian lady.
it has a bit of
Oh, cool.
a history because it was in this other place called Labuca, and then it moved, and it wasn't as good, and now she has her own place again. Anyway, they just got this new place, Osteria Mama on Melrose. We were having dinner with some friends. They didn't have their wine or beer license yet, and we were told that we were not allowed to bring in wine, that it was, going to be like a dry dinner. Well, my friend brought in wine anyway.
Can you imagine such a thing?
It was like a novel thing. Like, oh, we're not drinking. Okay. And so my friend brought in a bottle of wine anyway just to roll the dice to see what would happen.
Sure, running up the flagpole, see if they salute.
Yes, so she did. She flashed the bottle of wine. They swiftly sort of like took it from her and passed it amongst one another back into the kitchen, and then came out with a tray of coffee cups and
Awesome.
stainless steel creamers, and in the stainless steel creamers was our red wine, and we were pouring the red wine in the coffee cups, sort of
Talk about a
surreptitiously.
Yeah,
speakeasy.
total
and
speakeasy style.
tables,
Yeah.
and then I started looking around, and all these tables around us, everyone was also drinking coffee, and I was like raising my coffee cup knowingly, like good coffee, huh? And and it just like thrilled me so much. I did not want them to ever get their beer and wine license. I always wanted it to stay this way, but I think they
Is
have
there
since-
corkage? Do they
No,
charge you
no
a corkage?
corkage.
Oh, okay. They got a tricksy way
Well,
of doing
they're
it.
in the way, they're in the midst of getting the license.
Oh, fair enough.
So-
okay. Yeah.
But it was so much better that way.
How was the pasta?
Oh, it's
Unbelievable.
delicious. It's so good.
It's unbelievable.
This
I mean,
place
it's
is great.
delicious.
There's a place on Staten Island that they bring in a different Italian old lady every day. It's right by the Staten Island Ferry. They bring a different old Italian
What are they
lady
going
in.
Craigslist and find?
I think they have rotating old Italian ladies.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I went with a comic from Wisconsin, Pete Lee.
What's up, Pete?
Lee.
What's going on, Pete? Hope
Thanks,
you're listening.
Pete, for the
All right.
recommendation.
From Janesville, which is beautiful at night with the methane gases coming out of the toxic waste dump.
Absolutely.
It's there's a Paul of Tonka's 300, huh? Janesville, and so. But yeah, it's they make their own pasta there too, and it's ridiculous. And
there is a place where they have the Thai Elvis. I think it's called. Is it called the Palm?
The Palm.
Yeah,
in Hollywood.
It's a Thai restaurant in Los Angeles, and somebody told me that you need to ask for the special tea, and if it's after. Because they stay open late, and I think if it's after closing,
okay,
you get the special tea, and that is beer that's in a teapot.
Oh,
and the same thing. You drink out of the teacups.
Well, where I went, another secret thing that used to thrill me when I was an undergrad at University of South Carolina, and I'm sure this still exists. It's in Columbia, South Carolina. The Capitol Diner, which is right next to the Capitol building, which has been open forever, like during Prohibition days. Apparently, you can still order a spiked Coke. You just have to order a dirty Coke. So you say, I'll have a dirty Coke, and they'll bring you a
and it isn't water that tastes like nickels. That's awesome.
No,
No.
it is not.
Fantastic.
No,
What
it's
is it,
like rum.
gin?
It's rum and
rum
Coke.
and Coke. Rum and Coke.
Oh, it's a
Yeah.
rum and Coke.
Yeah.
See,
And that's still, to this day, if you are in Columbia, South Carolina, please go to the Capitol Diner and comment on this podcast and let me know.
right. Email us all.
Yeah.
And tell us, Jackie at JackieCation.com. I'll pass the word on. Anyway,
But
so
if you see Dement there, spit on
what's Dement?
Oh,
Rick Dement.
Rick Dement?
is he Congress or Senate? He's
Oh,
awful.
is he the South Carolina?
Well, he's not South
representative?
Carolina. He's actually state. I mean, he's in D.C., not in
Oh, is he U.S.
Columbia.
Okay.
U.S., yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
So, but he's a dirtbag.
Total.
Yeah, we got him. We got him.
He's teabagger. He's ground zero for teabagging.
Oh, really?
Or tea partying, sorry.
Because he is a Republican
Madman?
official,
Yes,
but
yes.
he encourages all this. He stirs up all this Tea Party nonsense.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that seems like so much energy.
Yeah.
Is wasted.
Yeah.
On
Just privatizing everything, Social Security and the fire department, and
the
all
fire
this stuff.
department.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Let's do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's going to be shrewd.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's okay. So my secret thing that I had heard of for many years and had never gone to was the Liberace Museum in Las Vegas.
Oh, is it a secret thing?
It isn't a secret thing. It's just a lightly
It's
attended
secretly
thing because
awesome. You're saying it's secretly
You're
awesome.
saying it's the best kept secret in Las Vegas.
It is much like me in show business, and it is. It is a great. It's a great, and it's closing middle of October. at the
I heard
Liberace
that, yeah.
I
Museum.
didn't know that. Why?
Because of attendance, one would imagine.
Yeah.
But here's the
Oh.
thing: a lot of people don't know. Liberace from Wisconsin went to West Dallas High School with my grandmother, my grandma Gladys.
Is
Wow.
that in the museum?
And that is not in the museum.
That
You know what
should
else
be.
isn't in the museum? Anything about
The
his
name
sister.
Gladys?
The name Gladys. It's funny. His dad, Liberace's dad, was in John Philip Sousa's. He was a famous French horn player. I'll say it
Really?
again. Famous French horn player in the early 1900s.
Oh my
who knew
gosh.
that was a thing? And but he played in the John Philip Sousa marching band.
Wow.
And Liberace and fell in love with a Polish woman from Milwaukee
Mhm.
in 1909, and they married to get divorced in 1941.
Oh.
Wow.
Gutsy stuff. French horn players, I guess they're flighty. Anyway, but
Musicians.
3 children. Walter, who was
Mhm.
what Liberace was his first name, but
Right.
he never used it. His older brother George, and then they had a younger sister. I forget, but the sister isn't anywhere in the museum.
Wow.
Is she like a privacy freak, or maybe
I think she's
or did she write
I had
him
to
off?
ask the old ladies running the place about her because Walter and George are both pictured. George played the violin. And
Oh yeah, because Liberace had a show, and I guess George would appear on the show.
Right, he's a
Yeah.
violinist, and
Yeah,
he
yeah.
looked exactly like. I mean, you could tell that genetically they came from the same
Sure.
stock. So
The
but
Liberace brothers.
the Liberace brothers, and Salvatore was their dad, and their mom was Polish, and it's nice.
Right.
And but you go through and you get to see like his bicentennial Rolls Royce, and I was very much a Tea Party car. It was a red, white,
Sure,
and blue Rolls Royce with
Yeah.
a giant eagle as a hood
Absolutely.
ornament.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know where this stuff is going. And he had a monkey fur coat, which I asked Andy,
Weird.
my husband. I was like, do you think that's real monkey fur? And he goes, oh yeah, that's real
Yeah,
monkey
sure.
fur. I was like, ugh. That's not. I mean, I don't know why it's worse than a beaver pelt or a
Because they're
mink.
like humans.
Maybe that, or I just don't think of a monkey fur pelt as being
Luxurious.
warm.
Well, you don't look at monkeys and you think, wow, they look terrific.
Right, but it's and the note next to the monkey fur cape or whatever it was said that the monkey fur was set upside down so that the curls would come out.
The curls.
It was all very
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Kind of weird.
disturbing.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah, yeah.
A little disturbing. Let's talk about the see, and that leads right into
right
accessorizing.
into your
How
dork
do you do this?
forest.
I don't know. I think I should have a show on KQ or something, don't you? I know. I'm the worst. I'm the worst interviewer. I'm just like smash cut to something else.
I thought it was good.
You're a handsome Harry. What's the how did that all come together? How did that all and what do you like?
Honestly, I think that I do have a love of clothes. I'm a total clothes horse, and I love watches and cufflinks and things like that, and like any sort of thing like that you can.
Yeah, because
that you
there's not a
can
lot
add.
for men. I mean, men are not encouraged so much
No,
to
there's not a lot.
accessorize.
And I mean, like, and this what stuff there is, it's mostly for formal occasions. It's for stuff where you have to dress up as opposed to every day. But I think it goes back to when I was little. I liked dressing up in costumes because I wanted to be in
An
show
actor,
business.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like hats and any kind of thing like that, like fake glasses and stuff. I used to wish that I could wear glasses when I was a kid, and then now I have to. Now it's
there's a sight issue.
yeah, that was a waste of a wish.
Right.
I should have wished for a bike.
Yes.
But
But
yeah.
10-speed with a sissy bar.
Absolutely.
Something with a shiny seat.
Banana seat.
Banana seat. Yeah.
Spoilers. But yeah, I love I love
Do you
love
do a
clothes.
French cuff though often enough to,
Oh, yeah.
to validate?
Oh,
a
absolutely,
cuff
I
look?
do. Yeah. Whenever
Yeah.
I perform, I do French cuff shirts.
Okay, just
Yeah.
because you'd have to. Because I like the idea. My father has a. My father is a Dapper Dan as well
Mhm.
as Mr. Andy Ashcraft, who I'm married to.
Mm-hmm.
They have that in common and very little else. Thank you, God.
Do they talk about stuff?
They did because for the wedding, Andy always wears red shoes. He always wears
Oh,
red
cool.
shoes.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't matter what other.
Does he have several pairs of red shoes?
No, he likes to go through them, and he does now because he had to buy. He bought 5 pairs of shoes for our wedding,
Mm-hmm.
and then sent 3 of them back and kept 2.
Wow.
You're right, and my father was here when they arrived, and so the 2 of them were like Christmas morning with the shoes. And there was a beautiful blue snakeskin pair that my father really liked that Andy ended up getting my dad as a gift.
Very nice.
And my father,
Classy move.
who's got he loves the 3-piece suit, much like yourself.
Sure.
It's the vest. It's
Why
the
stop
extra,
at 2?
Why stop the vest? It adds another layer.
Because if you have to
does.
take your jacket off,
Right.
you still look nice.
Oh, do you still look nice?
Because you have a vest on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's funny though because Andy found these shoes and he had the hardest time finding red shoes.
Mhm.
And he said to my dad, why he was telling him about the website where he bought them, and he said it was this particular shoe, and all the models were black men, and he said, why do black men get better shoes than we do? And my father, without missing a beat, said, because they take care of them. And I have no idea what that conversation means, but it made me laugh and laugh and laugh.
I feel like I understand it on a very instinctual level.
On an instinctual level,
Yes.
because it's true though, is that most of the when I used to teach Head Start, and they were mostly young black men, and they had one nice outfit that they would take care of incredibly well because they had one nice
because their
outfit.
mothers told them to.
Right, their
Yeah.
mothers told them to,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
their
yeah.
mothers had bought them one nice outfit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because they were not rich children.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
if you were not rich children, you take care of your one
That's
nice thing.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. That is very
But I
true.
think Loretta Lynn has a song about that
Does she?
on the Jack White. Doesn't she have
She
a thing
speaks to
about
me.
red shoes on?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
She does on that
sounds
Jack
kinda
White album.
Yeah, on
familiar.
the Jack White album.
Right, I don't know
I
the
like
name of
country
that.
music too.
Is it called Red
I can
Shoes?
dork Forest on.
Oh, can you?
country music.
Do you like? See, I don't mind. I like country music and I like hip hop because they
Oh.
both have. They tell a story.
Yeah,
I like a
they do
story.
tell a story. I'm not a hip hop person. I know nothing about hip hop.
I just got
I
that
did
new
see
Roots
Hustle and Flow, but
Legend album. Hustle and Flow, is that a movie?
isn't that
That's
a
a movie
movie?
from a few years ago, yes.
It's
yeah.
well, it's probably on rotation.
I didn't see 8 Mile.
Oh, it was
I
all right.
didn't
You know
see
what's
that.
great about 8 Mile? The last 15 minutes, because it's it's essentially Hoosiers. So what you
Oh,
want
right.
to do is you want to see him win
Great
the basketball
movie.
game.
Hoosiers,
Right.
great movie.
Sure. Who did Gene Hackman? Huh?
Yeah.
The
Absolutely.
rich man's Dabney Coleman. Who doesn't want in on
Yes.
that?
Gene
It's,
Hackman.
It's
Did you see Dabney Coleman in Boardwalk Empire?
I did. We don't have HBO or Showtime.
You're not really missing anything.
No, I figure it'll come out.
Well, you can see it on DVD. Yeah.
Right. I want to see Treme. Is it
yeah,
Treme?
I like
Is that
Treme.
it? It's the marching
We were
band.
just in New Orleans this past weekend, actually.
That is true.
Oh, that's right. You did a show in New Orleans.
I did do a show. And I did not, but Janie did see a second line.
I did in the quarter.
Which
What
maybe
does
you
that
can
mean?
better
The
describe what
second
that
line
is.
is well, gosh, now I don't know how to describe it, but it's the sort of the spontaneous
Dancing?
parade of musicians that people and they sort of collect people along the way, like
like to riff and just sort of.
no, like
Well,
to
there's-
sort of like parade.
They're
through
like
the
marching,
streets.
they like parade
Oh.
with them and people are drinking
Like
and stuff.
the
and-
musicians kind of lead it, right? And then you might walk out with your to-go cup full of bourbon or whatever.
Yeah, because you can.
Because you
Yeah.
can.
Right.
And then you're like, oh, second line, and then you just like start like dancing down the street with them.
And it isn't even anywhere near Mardi
It's
Gras.
like a Congo
No,
line
no.
in life. It's like
No,
a life
there's
Congo line.
music all year round in
Right.
New Orleans.
It's like
that.
they're living the musical. It's like, in
Yes,
musicals
yes,
when
that's
they
right.
break out into
Yeah.
song.
Spontaneous.
Yeah.
Who wasn't disappointed in life after you saw your first musical? And I'm like,
Yes.
why are there
Why is that not real life? It is
Yeah.
in New Orleans.
That's how I felt I felt a disappointment in Magic when I was a kid. I was very briefly interested in it, and then seeing how much work it was to learn a trick, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is really, because it's not like I believed that there was magic,
right.
but it was like, oh, this requires so much more practice than I thought.
The craziest thing about seeing Penn and Teller last night was that in Las Vegas is that they would tell you how they did the trick. Before they did the trick, they said,
What?
this is how we do the trick.
That's very unconventional.
Completely unconventional. And then you watch them do the trick and you're like, I still don't know how they're doing it
Right.
because I'm a moron.
Oh, maybe they're lying.
But the thing is are they lying?
They built a trick into the trick.
They're usually doing
Oh,
like
yeah,
two tricks
like
at
a-
once.
What's
Mhm.
it called? A feint or something?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
constantly faking
It's a
you out
feint.
and feinting and I am the quintessential shiny object,
Yes,
distracto.
yes.
It's
Right.
and the weirdest thing, Frank Conniff, friend of the show, huh? He posted a thing on Facebook today of Steve Martin doing the Great Flyini or Fly.
Oh, Flydini, which I've never
Flydini.
seen.
Yeah. Well, it's a 5-minute bit,
Mhm.
and
Wow.
only because I had seen Penn and Teller last night, I was like, I know how he's doing that. But it took
Wow.
me 3 minutes to figure out how he was doing that.
Mhm.
Like, they opened the show last night with Penn and Teller come out, and Teller has a ball and a hoop, and he's making the ball levitate and do all these things.
Mhm.
And Penn introduces him, and the last line, he says, Teller's going to do the first trick. It's done with thread. That's what you need to know. And he goes away. And you're watching it going,
So are you
wait,
looking for thread the
you're
whole
looking
time?
for thread. You're like, well, where would the thread be there? Well, how come the thread isn't?
Mhm.
What the hell is happening? And and he does tricks where there's someone. They do tricks where there's someone on, and is someone on stage, and the person is having the trick, and we can all see how it's being done,
Mhm.
and the trick is being done to them, sort of. And
You
they're
mean a
like,
person
oh
like
my God.
somebody from the audience.
volunteer
But then
Right.
the person from the audience does not know what's
Right.
happening.
And Penn was like, magic happens inside this lady's head. So everybody knows that it's an illusion. Magic is happening in her head. You want to get inside her head. So
They're
as
like
a
the Andy
performance-
Kindler of magicians.
Yes,
They
it's so
deconstruct.
meta, so
Yeah.
it was awesome. I highly recommend it.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I've never
That's
seen
pretty
them
cool.
live.
yeah, I don't
I
know
would
if
see that.
it'd be nice to see him on like Broadway or something, because in Vegas the
Mhm.
show's only an hour and 5 minutes. Because all the shows are an hour and 5 minutes.
Why
'Cause
the
they're-
5 minutes?
I have no idea. So that it's over an hour.
Oh.
Because it's Vegas.
Like
Why
a
wouldn't
union,
you-
is it like a
I
union
bet that's
thing?
why.
Like a union?
I don't think
Maybe.
so. I think it's a hey. If it's 55 minutes and you paid $30 or $100 to
right.
see it, you'd be like, God damn it! And but if
Yeah.
it's an hour and 5
5
minutes, you're like,
minutes.
oh, it's over an hour.
So
That
you
was
can
worth
look at your watch
$100.
afterwards and say, "Oh, it's past the hour."
Do
So,
something.
like, yeah.
Because
Wow.
the comedy shows were an hour and 5 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
It's
so
like the
weird.
MC would do 5 minutes, I would do 20, the
Right.
MC would do 5 minutes, and then the headliner would do 30 or 35.
I wonder if that's also got to do with turning over the room and.
Yeah,
All
and
that
then
stuff.
2 shows a night is dumb.
It's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
science
yeah.
there.
Ugh.
It's
Yeah.
a science.
Get it.
Yeah.
Forget it, I
Yeah.
say.
Forget about it. It's yeah, because Vegas is fascinating, but it's also boring.
Yeah.
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 After a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very shiny. And God bless them.
God bless those people in Las Vegas.
Right. So we've talked. So what about the tie? Let's go on to other parts of your work.
I will tell you this. I just, as of 2008, the end of 2008, I learned how to tie a bow tie, which I'd never been able to do. And I always felt sort of weird that I wasn't able to do that. Because
Really?
Yeah. Because it's like, it I don't know. That was like, I always thought
Did
of
you
myself,
always
I was
wear like a
I should
clip-on?
know how to do this. Well, I wouldn't wear bow ties that much. But if
Right.
I did for like a tuxedo, I would wear like one of those wraparound ones.
Oh,
that's,
right, that clip.
Yeah. So it doesn't look as much like a pre-tied tie.
Right.
But is,
Right.
And I forget what made me. I had bow ties that people had given me over the years.
Because they
I
assumed that
think
you could.
someone.
Yeah.
I thought someone in my family gave you a bow tie.
Now that's after I learned how to tie.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
And
Your-
is it hard?
Your brother gave me a tie. It's actually not hard. It's very frustrating to learn. I learned it by looking at YouTube videos.
Oh, right.
And it was really, really frustrating. And then I saw this one. I watched 5 or 6 different ones. And then the last one I watched, this guy, nobody else had done this on any of the videos, did a different angle on this one part that is crucial to the whole thing.
See?
It made all the difference in the world. It's like, well, I didn't know that's what was doing because, these guys are tying and it's all from the front. So their hands are hiding this one part that you
have
need
to
to
do.
see.
Yeah.
Yes. That is what makes it actually tie.
Now,
Right.
So, yeah.
Now, am I wrong? Because I have tied bow ties
Mhm.
on, like, my brother or
On me.
and you. And,
Yeah.
But maybe I'm doing it wrong. Because how does it that I know how to do it and have...
Is she doing it right? Does she
Because
I
intuitively
feel like-
do the
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
that is hidden?
Essentially, you're just tying a bow.
Yes. And that's the thing is that it's hard. It's easier to do that
On
somebody
someone,
else.
facing someone.
Doing it on yourself. It's slightly different. It's not like, tying your shoelaces with the rabbit ears or whatever,
Right.
But that is the technique, though, is you are making a bow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
No, absolutely.
And you want one
well,
loop.
you know how it's supposed to come out.
You
and
want one loop to be in front, and then one
Yeah.
loop to be.
But
the
Oh
loop
my
on
gosh,
the left
you've
would be
already
in
lost
front.
me because I didn't know that there would
but
be one
making that
Well, there's
happen
two
is the
loops in
tricky
a
part.
bow.
Yeah.
Right.
So you want
so
one to
has
be.
cross.
You want one loop of the bow to be facing the world,
Yes.
and then the other loop of the bow to be close to your neck.
Protecting you from
Behind.
Satan. Sure.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
you want
Sure.
a loop. You want a loop and a free end on either side.
Right.
But not you don't want 2 loops on one side and 2 free ends on the other side.
Sure.
It has to be balanced out and reversed.
A yin and a yang.
Yes,
If
like
you will.
life. It's a
If you
lesson about
will.
life, really.
The art of tying a tie
Mm-hmm.
can be very elaborate because there are different kinds
Different
of ways.
Oh,
knots.
I can only do one knot, and
There's
that's it.
The Windsor, right?
Yeah.
Single Windsor.
I can do
or
the single
something?
Windsor, and that's
what
it.
I can do.
Yeah.
A single Windsor. I've not learned.
But
Oh,
there's many, many different.
there's a lot of
ways.
different ways to go.
Absolutely. And
It's
does
a-
Andy know all of them?
No.
Is he a tie guy or no?
He doesn't really wear a tie.
Mhm.
He's he works in the video game industry, so there's not a lot of opportunity, but he's a little more dressed up than you'd think.
Mhm.
Than you'd think he would be.
Well, I'm
Than the
sure then all of
than
those
the
other
average
guys
video
in the
game.
office.
Yeah, and he just calls the other. He's like, they hired another saggy butt kid, which is those kids
Right.
that wear those
saggy butt,
Yeah.
the
the
saggy
saggy
butt
butt pants.
outfits.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's like, you just want to grab his pants and go, yeah, you're gonna need a belt.
It doesn't seem comfortable.
Right.
That's the only thing with me. Is like I understand fashion is all ridiculous and it comes
Fashion.
and goes.
And you know where it came from? The saggy butt.
No.
It was gang members boosting stuff from the Gap, shoving stuff down their pants. So they'd wear
Oh.
super big pants. So they'd be like, "It's my fashion, but I'm boosting a couple of polos
I did not
or
know
whatever."
that.
Interesting.
I did not
Mhm.
know that. But yeah, it's like
That was my gangster voice, by the way.
It just
Thanks.
no. You didn't have to tell me.
I thought
I was looking around for the gangster that
thought
just walked
someone
into the
else
room.
was in here, yeah. That's your
we did the
joke.
same
Wait,
joke.
I stole it from you.
Ah, it's a good one. Good backup. Well done.
Thank
I like
you.
that you stole it from me while I was doing it.
I know.
It was perfect.
That's a first.
Is it what? How is it? How is the riffing around the Tompkins
We
household?
we get a lot of riffing done. I would
we'll laugh. We make
Janie
each other.
Haddad Tompkins, by the way, and Mr. Paul F. Tompkins. That's
Yeah.
who my guests are.
That's right.
Everybody should follow them on Twitter and Facebook. And
say. Please
and
do.
Oh yes, I
And
have a Twitter handle.
You have a Twitter handle, which
It's
is
at Janie Haddad.
Oh, at Janie Haddad. All right.
JANIEHADDAD.
Oh.
Please
Done.
follow me
There we
on
go.
Twitter because I really love Twitter.
Do you ever feel followed? Do you ever feel like people are following you? Like I have some followers. I mean, it's not crazy.
Well, if anyone gets even remotely creepy, I just block them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That is a nice
And
feature.
I do keep sort of an eye on the people that follow me. Like, I'll check to make sure there's no...
Oh,
know,
like
sort of-
bots and stuff?
Yeah,
Do you try to
bots.
weed out bots?
I do.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I like it because you know, I joined Twitter just because a friend of mine moved to Philadelphia,
Oh.
and I figured it. And we have like one friend in common, and they were both on Twitter, and I was like, well, that's a way to instant message all three of us.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, there's 1,000 people.
There's
involved.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I guess I'm not going to bitch about my old day job with them because they're both friends from my old
Right.
day job.
right. I was resistant to Twitter at first because I didn't quite understand, like, I don't know how this is different than this thing or that thing, you know.
Right.
And then I started using it, and then I kind of got it and how it was
Some people
useful.
are really good at it.
Yeah,
too.
some people,
Yes.
and you know what? That's the fun for me is that I enjoy it the same way everybody else does. I put stuff out there to be funny, and it's part of a self-promotional kind of thing.
Sure.
But I like it to be entertaining. You know, it's not just I'm going to be here and I'm going to be there.
Right. I feel kind of weird when it's all that because I'm like,
Yeah.
nobody wants to hear all that. They go to my website for
No,
crying out loud.
yeah,
They follow-
exactly.
they follow
It's a good
Todd
way to
Berry.
remind people.
Yeah.
It's a good way to remind
Sorry, Todd,
people.
I'm kidding
you know.
about you.
But
yes, no worries.
Yeah, but
Don't
you
be
have
mad.
to hook them in by being entertaining, which
yeah, for
I
the
don't
love
mind.
of God,
you know.
please be entertaining.
But
Yes.
but there's a lot of entertaining people on Twitter, and it's finally a thing that I can enjoy the same way everybody else enjoys,
Right.
you know, but still use as a tool, you know,
Right,
in
it's
a way
a
that
work
like
tool, but-
MySpace was not fun.
no,
you know.
MySpace it was always
No.
too busy too.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
sensory overload, man.
Yeah.
And I still have a MySpace account, but it's hard to update, and they wouldn't let me update my calendar. It's a
Yeah.
fascinating story. Let me
Yeah,
tell you
I-
about it later. Oh my
That's a whole separate podcast. The MySpace Chronicles.
Yeah, the MySpace Chronicles is my other podcast. And
Download it for your Zune.
hey, you have a podcast. You just started it,
I
right?
do. I just started it
And
at the
some-
end of
One
August.
of my fans, sorry,
Or
I'm
at the
gonna throw
beginning
this
of
pen
August,
at
I
you.
think. Please,
It's-
no offense taken.
All right, is that someone emailed me and said, you're out of luck. Paul F. Tompkins came up with the best podcast name. And I was like, well, let me change the name of mine to Paul F. Podcast. What is it again?
It is the Pod F Tompcast.
That's it, Pod F.
Yes.
Tomcast.
It's only the best name for me.
Right. It's,
So if
Right.
somebody else did it, it would not
You
be such a
can't
good name.
be, yeah.
it would be hard to co-opt.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
because of the F.
Yeah.
There'd be no, because my middle initial is S. Never used.
didn't
Never
realize
used.
Never used.
JSK.
Secret thing, honey.
Secret thing,
this?
JSK.
JSK. There's a secret. Huh?
That's a secret.
It is a secret.
Yeah.
And does it stand for secret?
It does. Jacqueline
That's actually, that would be kind of a neat middle name to
It
have.
wouldn't be a bad one. Andy has a couple of friends who they named their kid Ethan Danger. And then the second one is like
So you can say my middle
Albert,
name is Danger?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what you're asking for? Trouble. When you name your kid Danger. That's
Yeah.
going to be a rock climbing kid.
And what's the other
That's
one?
not,
The
yeah.
other kid's middle name is Adventure. It was going to be Trouble. And then they were really asking for trouble.
That's really annoying.
It's vaguely annoying. They're very nice people.
No, I
Adventure
think
wouldn't be
they're
as
nice.
bad had it not been for Danger.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
But the thing is you got to give the second kid something fun if you've given the first kid
Well,
something.
Oh,
but that's
yeah,
the thing,
because
but
then
if
the
the-
other one's going to grow up like,
but
oh.
if the
Why is
the
my middle
first-
name Larry?
If the
Yeah.
first kid's middle name was Adventure, then the second one's could be like Victory or something like that.
oh,
you know,
right.
but not Danger.
Right.
Don't. What
It's-
what about Murder as middle name?
Murder.
This is Robert Murder Tomlinson.
We're actually talking about crows. It's okay. It's a murder.
Murder of Crows.
I'm here all week.
I got it.
Try the veal.
I got it.
Oh my god.
Good.
So, but all of the social. Did you guys see that social networking?
We
movie?
just saw today.
Yes, it was. I really liked that movie.
Was this fun?
I did too.
Oh,
It's really
I
good.
highly recommend it. Well, first of all, the acting in it is
Top notch?
phenomenal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
It's a great cast.
Did you like All the President's Men? That
Yeah.
movie?
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
like a real heavy reliance on sort of the interplay of the actors in that.
Right. It's very ensemble
sort of,
casty.
Yes,
kind of.
Yeah.
and it reminded me of that in a way.
Yeah.
Okay.
The way that the story is told, like it relies on dialogue and
Sure.
and
Another great
relationships.
soap dish. Anyway.
Yeah.
I like to reference movies from a million. It's like, but not old enough to be classics, just old enough to be new classics on Turner. And did you see Soap Dish though? It was excellent.
I saw when I worked in a video store. I saw something.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
I thought about buying it recently. That's all. I'm just saying.
Keep thinking about it.
Keep thinking about
Keep thinking
it.
about it.
Don't have to go out.
Pray on it.
Pray on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a new. I came up with just today. I came up with a new LA job idea. It's the job that you start when you give up on show business and
Oh,
you decide
can
and
you
you
tell
don't
me what
move
that
home.
is?
I've decided to start someone to do affirmations for me.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I'll do affirmations for you, $100 an hour. It's like a life coach kind of thing.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Valet parking is my newest theory. That's how that started. Someone said to themselves, to their less successful friend,
Right.
"Park my car, I'll give you $5."
Right.
And a job was born. It's
That's
like
right.
personal assistant.
That's true.
I like it.
All of those jobs, everything where I'll walk your dog and that whole thing.
You can hire me to write your Twitter.
Oh yeah.
I'll
I
do
know
that
Joan
for
Rivers
people.
has one of those. Did you see the Joan Rivers movie?
Not yet.
No, I want to see it.
Oh, you don't have to see it in
Find
the
me.
theater. It's not like an IMAX.
No,
experience.
well, I
right,
don't think I
because
can now, but
documentary.
but yeah, I did want to
Yeah.
see it when
You
it
can
came
see.
out. I just were we in
It was
New York? then?
fascinating, quite honestly.
No, we were here.
We were here.
Yeah, I just missed 3 opportunities to see it with a group of girlfriends. for
Really,
some reason.
3 opportunities.
Pretty much.
3 opportunities.
Yeah, like there
honey.
were 3 like groups of women I knew that were like, "We're going tomorrow night," and I couldn't do it. Or
Why 3 opportunities?
That sucks.
the 4th time was gonna be the charm, but
Now let me tell you something about this one, Jackie.
Please.
I go out of
That's what
town.
I like.
go out of town. That's when she goes to see movies that I would like to see.
Oh yeah.
And
Is she
then-
willing to see him again though?
no.
Oh really? Really? Because I'm toddler-like. I'll see a movie over and over
Really?
again. Yeah.
Oh no.
I like it
No.
when I know the end, quite honestly. Especially
Sure.
if it has any tension in it
Yeah.
at all. I'm like, it all works out. There's redemption. And like my brother Phil actually just called me yesterday because I finished reading The Hunger Games and that whole series.
I have friends that were reading that.
I don't know
according
what
to
that
Twitter.
is.
It's like a thing.
It's
that
a
people
it's a
read on
young
Twitter.
adult book
YA.
where children are forced to kill each other. Oh yeah, it's going to be a
Ugh.
blockbuster. Yeah, and it's a young adult book that they're assigning in school because they're like, "You're depressed? Not enough. Here you go.
Wow.
Read this and then Catcher in the Rye." Okay, so but my brother who listens to all books on tape now because he drives all the time,
Oh,
he
cool.
called me up and he just said, "Tell me there's redemption. That's all I need to. Don't tell me what happens." But if
He
these
was
people,
like he was getting
yeah, he's too
sucked-
tense,
Bummed
too
out.
tense.
sucked
Yeah.
into it.
He's my brother Phil is the guy who coined the phrase I can't watch any more Nazis unless they're buffoonish. I need my Nazis to be buffoonish.
Oh.
Yeah. He's
So
like,
outside of Hogan's Heroes, what does he have?
Indiana Jones. He'll do Indiana Jones.
Sure.
Because they're
Their
slightly,
faces will get melted.
right.
They
There
fall
is
down
redemption.
and stuff.
They
Yeah.
fall over.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
out tricked.
Their
They're
trucks,
punched.
their trucks and cars get tipped over all the time.
Maps are held up and they're punched in the face.
That's right.
Through
Yeah.
the map. That's all just good times.
Hitler thinks someone wants an autograph.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey.
Dumb Hitler. We got you, Hitler.
Oh my God.
You had that coming.
Where's that Twitter feed, dumb Hitler? Who follows goddamn Batman? Anyway?
No.
follow
I
goddamn
don't know that one.
Goddamn Batman is hilarious. He's
Really?
constantly talking.
Okay, I'll
Search for it
follow
right
him.
now.
I'll
Yeah,
follow
you
him.
can do it right now.
Or her. Could
All
be
right.
a lady.
Yeah.
Oh, good point, honey.
Which one?
I said I'll follow him or her because it could be a lady.
It could be a lady. It could be, and there's other ones that are just as fantastic. You know, it's like where's that guy's sitcom? Shit, my dad says.
Ugh.
Oh, and I just read recently that ABC is developing this very funny blog, which I really enjoyed, called Awkward Family Photos, into a show. But that's not a show.
That's not a show. That's a
blog.
Yes, you know, my father accidentally called me today. Poor thing. He just misdialed on his.
He pocket dialed you.
He pocket dialed me. Well, he actually he was calling somebody else and hit. I'm in the J's.
Oh, okay.
Obviously. He's under Dad with a question mark.
Does he use a jitterbug?
What is that?
There's the old person's phones that they advertise
right.
Yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah.
With the big
The
button.
ginormous,
Yeah.
they're like cell phones for...
The commercial for it is absolutely fantastic. Where it
Well,
is
it's
the
like
commercial
they
is
show baby boomers in the commercial.
yeah, but the commercial is
Should be like-
complaining. You know, it's like, oh, these
Why,
other
why?
phones, the worst. But this phone. Well, like it tells you this phone, it's so great because it doesn't have the annoying this. You know, you don't have to deal with that anymore.
That is hilarious. And in this, my dad, yeah, there he is,
Okay.
goddamn Batman. Read a tweet.
Or her.
Or her.
It
could be.
I don't
let
want to cheat goddamn Batman.
Let me tell you something. I read about the Oracle. Batgirl used to be Batgirl, and then
That's
the
right.
Joker
Commissioner
shot her.
Gordon's daughter.
Commissioner Gordon's daughter. Now she is Oracle. And do you read comic books, Paul Tompkins?
I go in and out of comic books.
Okay.
Well, I'll read them for a period and then I won't.
Right.
I get burned out on. I think I get too much at once, and then it's like I can't do this. I have to read an actual book.
Okay.
But right now, I just finished a very long nonfiction book called Nixon Land. All
What is
about
that?
It's a really amazingly written and very depressing book about how Richard Nixon became
Ruined
the president and ruined everything.
I hate Richard Nixon.
Yeah.
I have a T-shirt that says I still want to impeach Richard Nixon.
Yeah, the stuff that we're going through today as a country is because of Nixon politics.
Yeah, he put the final nail in the American dream. Well done.
And we do have to give some credit to Vietnam, which he did not start.
He did not
but
start.
he did not help.
He did not end.
No.
And so
after that, like that was like a couple months out of my life reading that book.
oh my God, it's super dense, I bet.
Oh yeah.
And
But
hundreds and hundreds of pages.
It's really well written, and I absolutely recommend it. Then after that, I had befriended on Twitter a couple of comic book writers,
Right.
And they both, independent of each other, sent me a bunch of their stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Right now I'm reading
Ed Brubaker?
No, I met Ed Brubaker recently, but he did not. He didn't send me anything.
Ed Brubaker, who'd asked me
Wow.
why he had never been on the Dork Forest,
him
and
to
I was like,
task.
Oh, that's right. I saw that.
oh my God, it's an attainable goal,
Yeah.
my friend.
Absolutely.
Holy smokes! And
But
lives in
he was
Seattle.
very, very nice guy, Ed
Oh,
Brubaker.
cool.
And
And he's an amazing writer. An
oh yeah,
amazing
absolutely,
writer. Yeah.
absolutely. But Matt Fraction, who writes Iron
I'm reading
Man.
Casanova.
Oh yeah,
I
he
just
sent me
finished-
that. I
Did he
started
send-
with some Iron Man.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm working on that right now.
I just his Casanova is fantastic. It's time travel cross. It's fantastic.
That's
And
next on my list.
I have here's let me
And that is Casanova is his creation, right?
right.
Yeah.
That's an indie of his.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Here's
Look
this
at your
week's.
stack.
This is we got Thor.
Sure, the mighty
And
Thor.
I think he's reading that. He's writing,
Yes, he is.
He's writing that.
Yes, he is.
Matt Faction. So is it Fraction or Faction?
It's Fraction.
Like a fraction of? Yes, it is. And Thor's fantastic. There's going to be a movie. Who knows what's going to happen? Powers is
Powers?
by Bendis. Is
I read
the only,
Powers for a while.
The
Yeah,
only
yeah, yeah.
Bendis I still read, quite
Mhm.
honestly, just because he has great dialogue, but I have a hard time with him finishing things. So
Yes,
Cap-
well, like the ones for Marvel, it became all about all these crossover events and stuff, and
Yeah.
so which I understand you got to make a buck, and this is not
Too
against
many.
Bendis, but it's Marvel. It's like
It's
kids.
Marvel.
A lot of kids read this stuff, and they don't have $1 billion to
right.
to
and
buy
there's
all
9
these different
Avengers
things.
and 9
Yeah,
X-Men.
yeah.
It's just
And this
too much.
this story doesn't finish. You have to pick it up in this story, in this other comic
I
book.
refuse.
And, yeah.
And Shadowland, I'm doing the Shadowland thing, which is a Daredevil kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
And I like Daredevil. Who knew Daredevil was any good?
Janie
Yeah.
has totally
Janie's
checked
gone.
out.
She's weeded off. Completely weeded off. It'll happen in the Dork Forest.
Janie-
Sometimes we'll find a tree that some person
I-
wants no part of.
I'm
I-
so sorry.
I have.
respect that world. I just don't like. I'm not.
It's not
yeah.
interesting. It doesn't interest you at all.
Doesn't happen.
I play video games from time
I'm
to
not
time.
The demographic.
And
Yeah.
when Janie and I were first dating, her friend, who is now my friend as well, Aaron, he and I were talking, and I said, "Oh, you should come over. We'll play video games. I haven't played in a while."
Right.
And so he came over to my apartment, and we were playing video games. And Janie called, and I put her on speaker because we're in the middle of this game, playing this game. And she said, "Wait, what are you guys doing?" Because she could hear in the background. I said, "We're playing video games." And there was a beat, and she went, "Gross."
What were you playing, if I might ask?
We were playing some James Bond game.
Oh, one of the 007s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were fighting against each other.
It's my current. I am 9 years behind every other video game, and I don't care. If people
Nor should you.
No, and people who email me and they're like, "You like video games? How come you're not playing the most current?" And it's like, because I don't care,
Right.
and because I'll play any game, quite honestly.
Yeah.
And he's fascinated
Sure.
that I'm still playing Warstorm on Facebook. He's like, "I got bored with that months ago."
I
And
don't
I'm
even
like,
know what that
"Did you?
is."
Did you get bored?
Is that
It's-
one of those games like the vampires or whatever, where somebody says, "You have a fight with this person," and then it says, "You lost."
Well, it's essentially
nothing
Magic
happens.
cards. It's Magic the Gathering.
Okay.
But you don't get to pick your own cards. So that's why Andy got bored very quickly, because he's
Right.
like, "You don't even get to control your cards."
So you're not actually doing anything.
Well, that's what he says. But I
Yeah.
say you build your squads with your existing cards. It's a fascinating story. Go on Warstorm. You build squads.
You build your squads with your existing cards.
But what I'm playing on PS3 is I started the story mode.
Honey, that's PlayStation 3.
I know that much.
Yes, you do. It's Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe, and it's just a versus, a fight. It's a button mashing. I like it because I'm not very good with the controller.
Right.
Because to be good with a controller, you have to spend 10 to 12 hours once.
That is true.
Just once.
That is true.
It turns out I am unwilling.
Yeah.
But I did, when I was in Atlanta, I played a comedy club in a go-kart track 2 weekends ago. Oh, yeah.
Comedy club in a go-kart track?
Yeah, my career's on fire.
What's it called?
It's called the Funny Farm. It's in Roswell, Georgia, and it is in the Mario Andretti go-kart track, and you get free go-karting, and that of course.
I should hope so.
And the weekend was awesome because of it, and free video games.
Yeah.
And I got to play. There's a new upright video shooting game called Terminator Salvation, and and luckily they gave me $70 worth of cards, and so I got to beat that game.
Upright shooting game a la House of the Dead back in the day?
Entirely,
that kind of thing?
Entirely.
Okay.
House of the Dead, Time Crisis. It's like that. It's all of those. Time Crisis 4 is pretty sweet.
I bet it is.
I bet Time Crisis 5 is going to be. Work on that, people. Work on it. All right.
Maybe our grandchildren will see that.
Let's move to something Janie might want to talk about.
Oh,
like
sure.
giant glasses. We got about 10 minutes left. Let's.
Oh yeah, I
you
like
think you can
giant
fill it?
glasses
You do
frames.
like. So you buy vintage frames?
Well, I
or
don't
you
buy
care?
them. I wish I did. I plan to buy them
She
one
tries
day.
a lot on. Well, you
Okay.
have you have these current glasses that
My
you have.
current
Are,
glasses
they're
are
a little
nice.
modest for you. You would like them
like
to be
even
bigger.
My sunglasses are bigger than the ones I'm wearing now.
She likes Charles Nelson Riley glasses.
Right, those are bigger
essentially.
than your face. Those are almost absurdist kind of.
I have a
Are
small
we
face,
talking
too.
Elton? Yes, you have a tiny face, and then are we talking Elton John glasses? Would that be your goal?
Well,
Do you have your sunglasses in your purse?
I might.
It's a
but
radio show. No one can see.
No
it.
one can.
No,
see
no,
it.
but
They're large.
we could describe it.
And we
I
could,
wouldn't
and
just
we-
leave it at that.
It's a
You would
safe
go,
space, Jackie. Why be
"Ooh."
such a jackass? Why?
I'm not trying to burn your show down. I promise.
They're- I like vintage frames. Yeah, vintage. There's a place in New York. What's it called? Fanny's Frames or something. Not.
Oh
what
yeah,
is
that place.
called? It's called
It is
something.
Fanny something. They have.
It's in the village.
They have
it's in the East Village.
hundreds and hundreds of
Awesome,
vintage eyeglass
frames.
frames.
Oh, really?
And I just
I wish
love
I could
them
remember
all.
the name of it.
And then I recently watched Wall Street because I wanted to see the sequel, but I'm
Right.
hearing not great things about it, so I may not see it.
Right.
But it is a parade of awesomely large 80s glasses.
Yeah.
It's pretty. I was there in the 80s with some big glasses.
Yes. I didn't
but-
wear glasses in the 80s, so I missed out.
Oh,
so
you didn't?
maybe that's...
I
my
wore them from the
fixation.
beginning. I read a book, Louise Hay,
Oh, I've heard of that
right?
book.
She does
Self-help lady.
affirmations.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's-
she does the heal
Cure
yourself.
cancer with heal yourself with.
what is it? Like telling yourself?
I am not in a coma. I am not in a coma. This type of thing. It's
Okay, yeah.
yeah. And she says if you need glasses, which I always have,
Mhm.
it means you don't want to see stuff. She's very much into a pun. She likes a word.
Oh, right.
Right.
Oh, like if you have like a bladder infection, you're pissed off. Is
Right,
what I heard.
exactly.
That's her thing.
Exactly.
No, like I've heard, like you examine what it is that you're pissed off
Yep.
at,
Mhm.
and then or you could take antibiotics.
Or you could take antibiotics and drink a lot of cranberry juice.
Yes.
And work
And
on
some
that.
Urostat.
If you have gangrene, you hate your foot.
Exactly.
Like
You
that.
hate the color
Right.
green.
There's something you don't want to see if you're going blind, and
Right.
if your neck hurts, there's you don't want to look at things in a different way, and
Oh boy, come on, Louise Hay.
yeah, she's full of it.
relentless.
She
She's
is
relentless.
relentless. That is perfect word for it.
Are you actually supposed to say if you're in a coma, I am not in a coma?
I believe other people are supposed
That
to
seems
chant.
tricky.
It's
Like
tricky.
stand over you and be like, "You're not in a coma."
It's people are supposed to stand over you and affirm your life. It's like I love life. The universe supports me, and I am loved. The universe
Light as a
supports me, and I
feather,
am
stiff
loved.
as a board. That kind of thing.
I had an affirmation off once with Maria Bamford.
Oh
It was like the end of 8 Mile, and it was just like that. And we're back.
I'm smelling a web short.
It should have been.
Oh yes, that would be great.
It would be a really good web.
You
short.
guys
Yes.
should do that.
Yes.
I have a lot of ideas for web shorts, and I'm unwilling to do them. I have
They're
a
hard to
garden. I have a little
produce.
victory garden in the backyard.
Sure.
Planted too many zucchini plants one year. Hundreds of zucchini. Hundreds. And so
That is a lot for one
I
household.
I flyered zucchini's at a Staples, and just put them underneath people's windshield wipers.
Sure, absolutely.
And I needed to be filmed, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, I didn't have the technology.
The story lives on. The story lives on.
Right, it was a joke that I lived in the moment. I laughed and laughed at the time, and now it's a story. So, that's all I have. Sometimes I just live for the joke
Sure.
in the moment.
Absolutely.
And we're going back to Janie
But
because you
yes.
had a longer list.
Oh,
Even though
I did. I'm sorry.
I like it.
Can
No,
I
we
just
can talk
describe
shoes.
Janie's sunglasses though? She
Yeah.
got
Oh
these
my gosh.
glasses they're like men's sunglasses
Can I
from the
interrupt
70s.
you for 1 second?
Sure.
I just had to let you know that I constantly get complimented for my sunglasses.
By men who want to get the same frames.
Okay, go ahead. Go on.
Are they boxy or are they round?
They're 70s boxy round,
Ooh,
if you know what I mean.
Kinda.
They're like almost enlarged aviator frames, and they are they're a dark green frame, which is very nice.
Right.
It's a nice color.
Like a hunter.
It's an unusual nice color.
Yes.
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 And then the lenses are pitch black.
No, they're dark green.
They're really
But from
dark.
outside, they're super dark.
They're
Yeah.
polarized.
And they look
Oh,
like
are they?
she looks like a little blind lady.
No,
Oh,
they're
there you go.
gorgeous. They're
Excellent.
gorgeous.
You should hold a bucket with pencils, and but no, I love that. It's. Do you remember? Why would you? Because it's in my head. An episode
Let's
of
see.
Happy Days, when it was one of the very first episodes,
Mhm.
and they had gotten
When Fonzie was still wearing the windbreaker?
Yep.
Yes.
He was
Whoa.
indeed.
Mhm.
And later on, we find out a lot of important things from Fonzie in Milwaukee, which is that racism isn't cool. And remember that? When he said it was
He showed the
uncool?
way.
He did show the
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
And but in one of the first episodes, Mr. C had gotten a color, a thing to put over his black and white
I remember
television.
that, yes.
And it was, you clip it onto your TV,
Yeah.
and the top was blue and the bottom was green, and it would
Mhm.
essentially turn everything into an outdoor scene.
Right.
And that's what I picture your glasses to be. Sort of that sort of giant, awesome thing to put on top of. And I
Yes.
like it. I like the
Yes.
commitment.
Yes,
It's
It's
cool.
amazing.
they're fantastic.
They're quite something.
Is it the size? Is there a particular shape you like? Do you like it when they're roundy? Do you like it when they're boxy?
I like roundy. I like
Your
know,
regular glasses are tortoiseshell. I like
they're
those
tortoise
frames.
shell. Yeah, these are good frames.
Yeah.
And I like a little bit boxy,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
but
Chunky. You like
chunky. I like
Yeah.
chunky
cat
sort of.
size? You don't
No,
like so
I
much
don't
when
do
they're
the cat
pointy?
size. No.
Okay.
No. I like this is gonna sound weird, but I like serial killers' glasses.
Who in particular?
You know, like a Dahmer or something.
Did Dahmer have a? Did he have
Didn't
a
have
look?
some
He had sort of aviator frames.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My brother Scott once met him.
Oh, really? Was he nice?
Ooh.
He said he was a little creeped out by him. He was just sort of
So he met him after he was.
pre,
In
like
what
before he got
context?
arrested, because they lived in the same neighborhood. They would frequent the same like 7-Eleven-y kind of place,
And
convenience
he
store.
encountered him, and then he found out later that
That was Jeffrey Dahmer. He would see him at the convenience store,
Did-
and
I
they
mean,
would exchange sort of
that's
greetings
chilling.
of, "Hey, it
That's
is chilling."
Chilling.
Hey,
Yeah,
I can't talk. I'm having an old friend for dinner.
yeah. A young Asian man, actually.
I'm having a young Asian.
I'm having a young Asian man
long.
for dinner. Oh, and on that note, let's go. Let's go into the finals. The
Oh my
finals
God,
of the podcast.
What happens now?
It's already been an hour, you guys. It's
Well,
been...
just before
flew
we
by.
move on, I
Yeah.
just want to let everyone know I'm not condoning serial killing.
No, just the fashions of them, right?
Well, yes.
Sometimes
There's
You-
a
it might be a
something.
ghetto thing again. It might be because Jeffrey Dahmer, not an expensive man, not a
Mhm.
guy with a lot of money.
Mhm.
Obviously harvested his own meat. Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, so but like,
he
are
was
there
into
other
locally grown before locally
That
grown
is
was
true.
hip.
think
That is true.
locally, eat
Free
locally?
range.
But you know what? Were there other what about were there other serial killers who had other big glasses?
I'm just thinking like that's like nothing specific. Like if you're like, oh, he looks like a serial killer in those glasses, like I'd probably like to wear those glasses.
Right. It's,
You know what I mean?
You know when you look at somebody and go, oh, I don't like him at all.
Yeah.
But those are interesting
Like
glasses.
that dude looks like a pedophile or something.
Right.
Like he has
Mhm. Right.
sideburns and a mustache. I'd
But
be
where
like,
did he get that shirt?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm with you totally. I completely get that. And sometimes you just look and go, yeah, that guy's a jackass,
Yeah.
but what is he driving? Yes.
Yes.
I know it.
I want to encourage everyone
Yes?
to put the phrase serial killer glasses into Google image. And
Oh,
you'll
let's
see
see,
some
let's
stuff.
Oh, do it.
You'll see
do
some
it.
stuff. Well, you'll see some people that really do look like serial killers. They're all wearing glasses.
Look at you.
Then
You
you'll see pictures of just some glasses that I guess some people deem serial killery.
Is this
'cause
a
that's
good time
tag
to
keyword.
announce the launch of my serial killer glasses line?
Yes, please do
Oh,
a video
honey.
It'll be coming
blog.
out in
That
the
wa- I
spring.
s-
Blog about it.
I
I would-
honestly, you should do that because I bet it would be a gigantic success just on the name alone.
Oh,
But I need a glasses
ABC
designer.
would do a TV
Is there
show.
a glasses design? ABC would develop
that
half-hour?
into a sitcom.
Oh, man, start a Twitter feed about it. There you go.
There you go.
You'll start your business and get a sitcom.
Get a sitcom, and it'll be fantastic. Maria Bamford has a couple of friends who own a glasses store in Eagle Rock. So
Oh.
there you
Really?
go. Yeah, my father, by the way, told me today that Maria Bamford was his favorite comic.
She's hilarious.
She is hilarious. She's my favorite comic.
And you are a
She-
comic.
she's
and
also
he is your
not his
dad.
daughter.
Yeah.
Turns out I do stand-up comedy.
Yeah, it turns
And
out.
But that's funny. It's
He
funny.
means besides you.
Right, but he.
That's what he means.
Right,
But
but
he
it's
didn't
funny
say
because
that.
my mother, her favorite comic, Norm Macdonald. They both have
Oh.
favorite comics that aren't me. And I think I never told them I did stand-up, so it's okay. It's
Oh,
okay.
okay.
'cause,
So they don't know yet.
Do they
No.
listen to the podcast?
No, they don't. They don't have computers. They're Luddites,
Huh.
and it's amazing to me that either of them have cell phones, and
Jitterbug.
Jitterbug. Oh man,
They should get the jitterbug.
they should.
Wait,
get
is
the
Jitterbug doing FaceTime? I heard they're going to start doing FaceTime.
What is that? Oh,
Oh,
like
The
video,
iPhone
Wow.
Jitterbug.
video phoning. Oh my gosh, very Star Trek.
Why would you? Why would you take that literally?
What's the dark
You
promise
did it
that
very
you just took?
sincerely. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Please
I
read
Remaining
it
did
a
or
dark
that.
promise.
The Dove Dark Promise. Please read it in a dark voice.
Face up to fear. Every challenge is a blessing.
I hear
See?
ABC is developing a comedy
By
about
Mary
the Dove,
Claire
about
of
the Dove
Wilkes-Barre,
Dark
Pennsylvania.
Promise. Dove Dark
Excellent.
Promise starring
All right,
Joan
let's
Rivers.
plug some things.
Oh,
Plug
sorry.
some things, Janie.
my
Haddad? Yes.
Okay, so please follow me on Twitter. Check out my vlog, My So-Called Hollywood Life. It's
Sure.
on Vimeo.com.
Oh, you did a Vimeo.
Yeah, I did a Vimeo.com/channel/Lebanese Looker.
And
That's
you
me.
have a YouTube page too, right?
I do have a YouTube page.
What's that? YouTube.com/
/user/Janie Haddad, and I have some web shorts on there that are pretty entertaining.
Oh, fun.
That I did with my friend Samantha McIntyre.
And
of the-
you are a regular on a Cartoon Network show, right?
Yes, I voice the role of Margaret on regular show on Cartoon Network. Please check it out on Monday night.
All right.
And I
It's a
also
crazy show, that
have
show.
a film coming out.
Oh, what is that?
But it doesn't have distribution, so I maybe shouldn't say, but it's
Oh, you
going to
can
be
One day.
it's going to be a festival film. It's called Some Guy Who Kills People. And
Big glasses involved?
yeah, no, not enough.
No.
Not enough.
Not enough.
I don't remember any big glasses in the film.
And I should have tried to incorporate that in my character.
The
somehow.
sequel. Some
Yeah,
guy who
the
kills
sequel.
people too.
Some Guy Who Kills People with Kevin Corrigan, Lucy Davis, and Barry Bostwick.
Barry Bostwick is
steals
crazy
the
in
mo-
it.
he's
Yeah.
hysterical. He's,
Excellent.
Yeah.
So if they follow you on Twitter, they'll find out when it gets
That's right. If
distribution.
you follow me on Twitter, all the stuff will come up, and I won't bug you about it. I'll
Excellent.
be entertaining, I promise.
Paul F. Tompkins does stand-up comedy, and you should see him because it's enjoyable. It's and you do that thing at UCB where you pretend to be H.G. Wells.
Oh, the Dead Authors
Oh,
series,
crying
yeah.
out loud! I want to play a dead author, by the way.
Sure, I would
don't
love
know.
to have you.
All right, I have
Thi-
no
think
idea.
Think of one?
Yeah, I gotta
Well,
think
that
of
you
was
would like to
that
do?
was easy.
that was easy. That was an attainable goal.
So if I say it on the podcast,
Oh, maybe that'll. Oh, there. Dun, dun,
Gonna get a little Lucy Ricardo over here.
Excellent.
I'm just kidding.
I get that reference. Anyway,
I'm just
so
teasing. I'm
but
just teasing.
you should do the Tomcast.
The Pod F Topcast.
Right.
It downloads the first of every month, and I'm going to start doing little shorter things on a more regular basis. But the main kind of hour-long episodes will be the first of every
And
month.
is there
Yeah,
a
and
Paul F.
it's free.
Tompkins just website where everything is linked?
PaulFTompkins.com. Yes,
Paul F. Tompkins?
absolutely.
Okay, because
absolutely.
I'll do a link on the show for that.
Please. And I would like to let people know I will be performing. I do the Paul F. Tompkins show in Los Angeles the third Saturday of every month. Largo at the Coronet in West Hollywood. Next one is October 16th. I have Mike Doty, Janine Garofalo, and Seth Morris.
Right. You also do Thrilling Adventure Hour there,
I also
don't
do
you?
Thrilling Adventure Hour.
Which I just saw, which was fantastic.
That's the first Saturday, but I'm not in that for another couple months because I got conflicting engagements.
It's a noir thing.
But I also will be at the Rio Theater in Vancouver, November 13th. Tickets just went on sale for that. So if you are in Vancouver or nearby,
Right.
please buy
Drive
yourself
in.
a ticket and come see me.
and
yeah.
you have 2 comedy albums.
And everybody should
I
buy
do.
your comedy albums because they're very, very
Look me
funny.
up on
Funny.
iTunes. You'll see some things.
It's everything he's talking about. It's all new material on all of it. Like there is no overlap.
That is true.
So,
That is true.
That
That's
is true.
great. I have a couple of albums myself, and the ad for that album is in that cartoon, the Funny Animals cartoon on YouTube,
There we go.
that Greg Franklin animated.
Mhm.
And you should buy.
I just met him today.
Did you meet Greg
And he
Franklin?
mentioned that he animated your thing.
Greg Franklin, very funny man in his own right, and
Yeah.
the storyboard on that joke, which is an excellent joke.
Mhm.
I'm not lying, but he made it even funnier,
Yeah.
even
That's
funnier.
cool.
It was a neat thing.
I'm gonna check that out.
All neat. Ladies and gentlemen, I am at Rooster T. Feathers Cock-a-Doodle-Doo a week from this weekend, October 15, 16, 17, I think it is, in Sunnyvale, California, and you should come and see me there, and we can dork
You really
it up
should.
together.
You really should, everybody.
You really should. Thanks for listening to The Dork Forest. Good night.
We did
Awesome. That was fun.
My hat, my hat, my hat. They're dancing around my hat. My hat, my hat, my hat. Well, what do you think of that? If it looks like a Mexican hat dance and it sounds like a Mexican hat dance, it's most likely a Mexican hat dance. So take off your hat and let's dance.
Yay! Oh my God. Why don't we just call that as the end of the show?